I have this dream where we meet at Starbucks. And you have Dylan Thomas quotes in masking tape on the back of your laptop, so in my head, I call you Dylan Thomas quotes on laptop, and out loud, you call me Beth. Even though my name isn't Beth. But it makes sense that you call me Beth because in my dream you have myopia and wear sexy glasses, and you misread the joke I wrote on my name tag. The name tag left over from the writers' conference I was attending, and we meet at Starbucks. And we're only there because our favorite cafes are closed. We would never be in a Starbucks if there was any other option. We're too in tune with the zeitgeist for that. And I say, hi, Dylan Thomas laptop quotes, and you say, hi, go away, I'm working. No, wait, that's it, you're working. I forgot the dream again. You work at Starbucks. I have this dream where we meet at Starbucks and I walk in because my favorite cafe is closed, and you work at Starbucks to supplement your income as a musician in a band that isn't going anywhere yet. Even though that band is super hopeful. But you're less hopeful and more realist than they are. You just love making music, which is great, because when we move in together, you'll be working all the time, while me, your slacker poet girlfriend, stays at home and watches Netflix and does romantic things like writes you poetry in your morning Cheerios. I mean alphabets. Cheerios are all O's. It would be very hard to write poems out of Cheerios. Ooh, they would all go like this. Ooh. And in my dream, your band is a folksy garage hipster thing like every other band. And it has an ironic name, and you sing and play the upright bass, but when we meet, you tell me that you play the bass guitar. When I ask you 9 years later, on the night of the day that we adopt one of Angelina Jolie's children, just so we can have someone new to talk to, why you lied to me that first morning across the espresso machine, you tell me that bass guitars are the sexiest instrument that someone can play, and you wanted me to think you were sexy. Which I immediately did. Because of your hair and your voice and the milk foam clinging to your wrists, I totally disagree with your stance on instruments, though. Having complete mastery over something 3 times your size is definitely the way to my heart. That's not innuendo. I don't have anything that large, and most nights the dream continues. Some nights it's about you. Some nights it's about Marissa Tomei in that catsuit from My Cousin Vinny. Some nights it's about the two of you together, and I don't want to get into that because it gets pretty weird. And usually after, we end up talking about your sister's love life and arguing over the pronunciation of Réaumur Sebastopol, and then we eat oranges off the tip of my penknife and wonder how you ever found that incredible apartment just down the street from the Cheesecake Bakery. I have this dream where we meet at Starbucks. And it's so much better than my recurring nightmare where I disappoint the X-Men and Wolverine says, fuck no, you're not flying the plane. And as you're making my drink, at Starbucks, that is, I say, I know you, shuddering brunette. Shaking your curls over everyone else's shoulders, you have taped Dylan Thomas to the back of your laptop and the inside of your heart. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. What a peculiar choice for someone like you. Not that Thomas is in any way out of your reach. I believe you splash in desperation like the rest of us. Maybe you too hear doom slinking up the back stairs to smother you in your minimalist kitchen. But honey, Ginsberg suits you better. With his ecstasy and sunflowers and sweet boy, gimme your ass. No, you will never go gentle into that good night, bright beacon. You make your own sun. I have this dream where we meet at the end of the world, which isn't too far from where we are now, so I've heard. And although it's hard to see colors clearly through the swarming of parasites, I think I can make out the outline of a mermaid, so I assume you just got off shift. And as your hair smells like sweat and burnt coffee substitute, my assumption is probably correct. I tell you that the state-mandated combination Geiger counter and fallout shield looks simply charming on you, and you tell me that you like the Dylan Thomas quotes I embroidered into my lead-lined mittens. And we're so lost in each other's eyes that when the sirens warn that the 3 p.m. acid rainfall will be heavier than usual, we forget to deploy our protective umbrellas. And we're having such a good time that we don't remember to activate the biomesh on our suits and even think it's kind of cute when a space eel bites off the tip of your nose. And you're telling such great stories from that semester you spent on Vega that neither one of us notices how corroded we've become, or how rubbery our bones feel, or how many limbs we've lost, and as my arms fall off, I feel sad that I'll never be able to touch you. And as your lips fuse together, you finally remember my name, and as we dissolve into a puddle, our consciousnesses meld, and I think, well, isn't this something? Melting away at the end of the world, and you think, yeah, it's pretty sad. I would have loved to scuba dive the Rockies with you, but if I have to die in a puddle outside a Starbucks, I couldn't ask for it to be with anyone better. We had a good run, and I do like your poems, and as we slip down a drain with the rest of the trash, I sigh and think, God, you looked good in those jeans.